In a way, we've been putting ideas out there and seeing where the ripples might go.
One of our ministers for the Victorian Government had visited and came back to see us and said, you know, this is something that's really exciting.
The best way to engage with the entire market.
Creating this space where very innovative companies can connect with public sector organisations.
Being prepared to take a risk to try an idea and see if it works, and if it does, great, but if not, to pivot and move, and that is one of the great things about CivTech.
We've absolutely proven beyond any doubt that we have something of huge value.
We turn the most wicked of problems into opportunities, but it's more than that.
One of the big things we're doing here is changing the way that people think about the way that we deliver public services.
The concept of an entrepreneurship program is a really attractive element around the CivTech model.
Because we had noticed that the challenge sponsors got a lot of learning out of being involved with CivTech, we've opened up the workshops and now created new workshops which really let them bring in an entrepreneurial mindset to the other work that they do.
CivTech has really opened up our eyes around being product focused, being agile, and also taking that entrepreneurial thinking and applying it internally.
There's something there about different mindsets, different ways of working.
It's easy to get stuck in the same ways of thinking and the same ways of doing things. It gives people the space and the freedom and the confidence to really sort of rethink what they're doing.
I am definitely a different person.
We need to explore ways of doing things differently, acting differently, collaborating differently.
You need to go to the edge. You need to find your zone of discomfort in order to transform.
I do think it's a false dichotomy saying it's public sector skills or public sector knowledge and private sector, and actually what CivTech has shown is the value of working together and the sort of release of potential and ideas and energy that comes from that sort of intersection.
You can just create a much better outcome and create much more sophisticated conversations between public and private sector, which is going to benefit both sides ultimately.
What we're starting to do is to articulate what an entrepreneurial mindset looks like in the context of public services.
Of course, part of innovation is how to deal with risk. Not everything will go in the way we hoped.
You know, I won't sugarcoat it.
Not every program happens to be so successful.
The space that CivTech and anyone that wants to make change in the public sector operates in, it's tough.
There will be failures along the way.
You still get your people that say you really shouldn't be doing that, or no, it can't be done.
But they can be fast, they can be safe, and they can be true learning experiences for everyone involved.
You know, you learn from experimenting and trying new things.
And when people adopt a different approach, the results can be spectacular. The NHS holds massive amounts of intellectual property. One piece is Sean.
It's a very important system to clinicians.
And Scotland's actually a world leader. We've had considerable interest from other countries.
We needed to have the next iteration coming online.
We'd no real way of understanding how best to develop it.
We brought a question to CivTech, took it into another highly innovative procurement to look at a zero cost contract with shared revenue whilst retaining our intellectual property.
We had 22 notes of interest.
20 of them asked us if we'd forgotten to put the number in when we said zero value contract, and we delivered.
There are international clients lined up.
We have a minimal viable product.
This has taken us about 6 to 7 months.
The timeline I would have been working to for Sean otherwise would have been 12 to 18 months. I think people just didn't believe it was possible.
We are going to make a difference.
For me, it is that transformational approach to doing differently.
You almost want a CivTech in every bit of the public sector, or the concept of it.
We should simply be scaling that up. We should be doing much, much more of what we're doing already.
And maybe there needs to still be that rough edge.
And do, you know, hundreds of challenges a year.
Pushing the boundary.
I think the impact on the public sector in Scotland could be massive.
We're getting great conversations with other nations.
Although we know public sector is a tricky business, so we have to be sure that we are going in the right direction. Scotland gave us such a confidence.
If we could have demonstrated that by addressing public sector challenges, we stimulated real, meaningful, sustainable, inclusive growth, then we have done something very, very special.
So, those ripples spread, they broaden and they grow stronger. And they might just become unstoppable waves that change everything.
I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't one of the next big things to be coming out of Scotland.